Hello. I'm doing a backdrop project. I don't have my mic. This is kind of an impromptu video. I have a photo shoot this weekend for headshots, and I found, I learned about this backdrop hack from Nikki Klosser. She uses these foam boards that you get from like Home Depot or Lowe's. She also shared some of her favorite paint colors for headshots and personal branding. I did not use the exact colors that she recommended, but I picked some that I think are similar. Navy, cloak gray, rosetta pink, a cream. Now I only got 2 polyboards. They are 8 by 4 feet. I had to cut them down because I cut like this much off because they wouldn't fit in my car otherwise, and I barely got them in as it is. I'm stripping off, like peeling off this little layer here, and then gonna paint them. Then I will see if this is worth the effort or not. I'm gonna just kind of film the process and see how this goes. So right now I am here peeling off this silver layer. So I'm gonna keep doing that, and then set up a little area to paint one side blue. One thing I will say about the paint, I think it's actually kind of a good thing to have a wet roller, dribble the paint on the polyboard directly, and thin out the paint a little bit, not too much, but a little bit, and you can cover a whole board pretty easily. Because I did that with the pink, I still have about a third, maybe even close to a half a can of paint still left for 2 sides. Where the blue, I have very little left in the can. So I think if I would have done the same technique with the blue, it could have gone a little further. And I think having it a little more liquidy helps it soak into the foam core more and like lay less on the surface if it's like too thick. So that's my little tip for painting polyboards. I think with the samples that I have, those could probably also last longer, which, let me show you the size of the samples. So these are the size of the samples I got, and I bet you with the water technique, these could definitely cover 2 sides of a polyboard. These drop cloths, painter's drop cloths, I got at Lowe's or Home Depot, whichever one. And what I did, the one that I had on the ground while I was painting these, I split in half. There's a seam that goes down 1 full drop cloth, and so if you just cut it a little bit and then rip it, it'll just like rip in half. And what I'm gonna do is then paint these on another day. I also have this curtain that didn't really work in our bedroom, but it's like a blackout curtain, kind of in a similar shade as the drop cloths, and it has, you know, a backing on it that I think will be fine. Like it would absorb some of the paint. We'll see how that turns out. But this was a piece of like one of these painted, and I did a shitty job of like it's a crinkled mess, but this was just a small little piece that I tried. This is not like what the half size of the drop cloth looks like, by the way, but sometimes I'll drape a piece of this like over a posing table or posing boxes. Like I said, right now it's kind of stiff, but it does work nicely if I want like a little bit of a textured top or backdrop. You can see kind of like the paint, you know, on the other side of it seeps through, so you do have to paint it on drop cloth or something. Anyway, I'm gonna roll this up. Yeah, I usually have this on like a piece of, rolled up on a piece of PVC pipe. So with a steamer, the wrinkles can like loosen up a little bit. So anyway, that's what that is. When I get around to painting these canvases, I will videotape that and show you kind of how I do those. Today was about the polyboards. I will photograph people tomorrow on the navy and the pink, and we'll see how it looks.